Okay, so let's start. If he joins, you can join later.
Okay, sir.
Fine. So we are looking into the purchasing info record, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are looking into the purchasing info record. Okay, so purchasing info record. So purchasing info record, we can create it manually or we can create it automatically by quotation or PO. Okay, so there are basically four types of info record. So we are ME11. Okay, so here you can see there are info category are four types. First one is standard. If you create the info record for let's say you are going to use it for the standard procurement, then you can create a standard info record. If you are going to create some settlement for the subcontracting or some let's say some condition for the subcontracting procurement, then you can create a subcontracting info record. These three info records are mandatory. Okay, the subcontracting, pipeline and consignment, these are mandatory, you have to create. Why you need to create? Because these are the things not on the standard procurement but for the settlement process. Okay, pipeline you have to settle, consignment you have to settle, so the condition needs to be there. Okay, so that's why it is important. Standard, if we are not get like if we are not creating the info record also, manually we can put the price in the PO also. Okay, but for these things we need to create it on a mandatory basis. Okay, because for settlement kind of thing we are going to create it. Okay, so normally for consignment, let's say, okay, no problem. We'll see it later. So basically, you can create it on four types. Okay. So now let's see the configuration of info record. What we need to configure. So we need to go to slash and SPRO SAP reference IMG. So here we have to go material management. From here we have to go to purchasing. In the purchasing, we have to go to purchasing info record. Here, first one is define number ranges. Okay, so define number ranges. First, we need to go to here, just view the groups. So here, basically, there are two types of groups are there, IL and IN. Okay, two groups are there. So these are basically the transaction type. So IL transaction type is basically for your info record with material master. So if you are going to create the info record with material master, you have to create it under IL type or IL group. Okay, IN is basically your info record without material master. So we will see how we can create it without material master. So basically these two types are there. Okay, and for this one there are two number ranges are assigned. So basically one is your internal number range, one is your external number range. So you can see 0304 0506. Okay, so now let's go back. If you go to this group and you select this one, edit. Now you can see these are the number ranges. Here it is assigned. Okay, one is external. Here you can see this is 0506 number range, I believe. Okay, so here you can see the 53 and 54 number ranges. One is external, this 54 number is external, one is internal number range. Okay, similarly if you go to the second one, IN, here you can see these are the number ranges assigned. Okay, now we can go back. If you go to the interval, here you can see the intervals are already there. Okay, these are the intervals. Okay, 5354 5566, these are the number ranges which is assigned. Okay, so now this is the number range. If you want to, okay, so if you want to create a new number range, you can go to groups and you can select here, you can go here and you can change the number range. You can delete the number range, you can assign a new number range. Okay, you can maintain a new number range over here. So here you can maintain a number range. We are not changing this one, we are just going with this number ranges. Okay, so if you want to create it, you can just go to interval Here you can add any interval or subtract any interval, and you can maintain it for the groups. Okay, so now let's go back. So next one is define screen layout. Okay, so here we have for ME11, ME12, ME13, ME15. So this is basically your transaction or T code for the Inforecord. Okay, so if you want to select any of the, let's say you want to maintain some screen selection or field selection, you can do it from here. So let's go here. Okay, here you can see these are the field selection key or groups. Okay, so here you have the GRIR control, double click on it. So here you have valuation type, this is under display. Okay, so valuation type you cannot change. So if you want to make it as a required entry or optional entry, you can change it also. Okay, so now the basic data. So here in the basic data, you have vendor, material, purchasing organization, plant, all are display. Okay, if you want to change it, you can change it. Okay, but normally this is the field we are going to enter in the main screen. That's why it will come as a display in the general data screen on the second screen. We cannot change it. Okay, so that's why it is under display. So you can go to condition. Here you have something. Okay, if you want to make something as your okay, we have selected ME15, right? So we have selected the ME15, that's why it is coming. Okay, go to ME11. Okay, this is optional entry, basic data. This is display entry. This is condition data. This is optional entry. These are net price is a required field. Okay, so you can change as per your requirement. You can change the field selection. Okay, understood or any doubt?
Yes, I understood, sir.
Okay. So these are basically our configuration for. So these are basically our configuration steps for our Inforecord. Okay, basically you have to create a number range, you have to assign a number range, and as per your requirement, you have to do the field selection. Okay, so this is it for the Inforecord. So now we need to create the Inforecord. So now how we can create? We'll go to /n. Okay, main screen, go to logistics. From here we have to go material management. From here we have to go to purchasing. From purchasing we have to go to master data. The master data we have Inforecord ME11 create. Okay, so double click on it. So here it is asking for vendor, material, purchasing organization, plant. So what is our vendor? Any idea? What was the vendor number? We have these vendors created, right? Reliance material, let's say 1343, I believe. Purchasing organization is PORP. Plant is RP01, right? So here you can see this is the general data, right? In the general data, these are the things we have seen: the vendor, material number, and the material group. These are in the display mode, what we have seen in the field selection, right? So now here you can see in the general data, here you can see the vendor data is there. So these are the your reminders. So reminders we have given in the vendor master, right? In the vendor master, I believe um, in the terms field we have given the reminders, right? So that's why it is copying the reminders from the vendor data. Okay, so next one is vendor material number. If you have anything like any vendor material number defined in the material master. In the material master, we have a vendor material number field, right? If you have maintained something, then it should come here. Vendor subrange also the same. If you have maintained something, it would have come, but this is not much important for us. Next one is point. Okay, so point is important for us. Why? Because let's say we want to let's say we need to have some rebate agreement or some discount kind of things are there. So for that, this points will be required. So let's say the vendor is giving you point. Let's say you are purchasing let's say 1,000 quantity of material, then your vendor will give you 1 point. Like you can take an example of any kind of online shopping you are doing, right? Any like your credit card purchases, or let's say you are buying from the Reliance store or buying from the let's say any of the store. They are giving you some points, right? 100 under 100 rupees 1 point or something like that, right? So when there is a, let's say 100 points will be there, you can redeem it. So same thing applies to here. So vendor will give you some points based on, let's say this for 1 inch, they will be giving you 1 point or something. Okay, so they can give you some points over here. So at the time of rebate agreement, it will be helpful. Let's say you are getting 100 points, then you can get a rebate also there. So that is required for the rebate agreement. And same with the this salesperson telephone number, these will be copied from the vendor master. These fields we are having in the vendor master, so this will be copied from there. Okay, so here in the next, you are having purchasing order unit of measure. So in the purchase order, what unit should be there? This is inch. Okay, so if you are taking a different order unit, then you have to provide a conversion rate. Okay, let's say you are taking 1 foot, then you have to give 1 foot as a 12 inches. Okay, so likewise you can make a conversion field over here. Let's say you are having storage, or you are having an order unit of, let's say gallon or any kind of other things, so you can provide a conversion over here. Okay, next one is your certificate category. This is also we have seen in the vendor master. If you are maintaining something over there, so that will be copied to here. Okay, so certification is basically, let's say if your vendor is coming under any kind of certification, required certification category is there. Let's say you are buying some food products, so FICO registration should be there. Let's say you are buying from some of the manufacturing industry, you need to have some ISO ratings like 9001, 18001. You need to have some certificate for that one, and what is the validity of that certificate. So if your vendor is belong to that kind of category, they need to have some certificate, so you can mention it over here. Okay, so country is India, region if you want to mention, you can mention. This is basically, this is taking from the vendor master. Okay, whatever things you have mentioned, it will be taking from there. Okay, next one is, this one is important, supply option. Okay, so supply option, from when to when you are marking this vendor as available. This vendor, which vendor you have taken the Inforecord. Okay, so let's say availability, we are taking it for from today's date to, let's say 6 months. Okay, let's say we are taking this to, okay, let's say we are taking this to December, let's say 31st. Let's say 31st December, till 31st December, this is our vendor. If you are selecting this as a regular vendor, so for this period of time, whenever in the purchase order you are selecting this vendor, that is okay. Whenever you are selecting some other vendors in the purchase order, then it will show you one warning or a error that there is a regular vendor for this period of time. Okay, so this is basically regular vendor you can maintain in the Inforecord. Okay, so this is a question might come in your interview, or let's say if you are going for any kind of certification, so there might be, you can face a question like where we are selecting the regular vendor, or how we can maintain the vendor as a regular vendor. Okay, so these are some of the question you might get. Okay, so this is basically our general data. Now let's enter. If you are entering, it will go to the purchasing organization data. Okay, so purchasing organization data is basically copied from the, it is getting copied from the material master. Okay, so here you can see the purchasing group. This purchasing group where we have mentioned in the material master. Delivery tolerance also we have maintained in the material master. Similarly, here we can give the planned delivery time, let's say 2 days. Okay, next one is your standard quantity. What should be a standard quantity to order? Let's say 100 quantity should be a standard quantity. Here you can maintain a minimum quantity also, and maximum quantity also if you want to. Hello,
Yes, sir.
am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So there was a network disconnection. So where we means where you guys lost me? We are here only, right? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, the maximum quality, minimum
Okay.
quality.
Okay. So basically here we have the control data. Okay. In the control data here you can see the planned delivery time, purchasing group. This is getting copied from the material master. Purchasing group here under delivery tolerance and over delivery tolerance. So these are getting copied from the material master. So here we are having the acknowledgement required. Okay, and if you are having any confirmation control also, you can mention it over here. Okay, GR based invoice verification, this is getting selected from the vendor master. So if you want to unselect also, it is okay. Okay, if you want to unselect, you can unselect, but it is getting selected from the, means it is taking the selection from the vendor master. Okay, then next one, if you are selecting this unlimited, then there will be unlimited over delivery. Okay, so let's say you are providing a order for 100 pieces, they can give you 1,000 pieces also. That is okay, that is not a problem. Okay, this is called unlimited over delivery tolerance. Okay, next, if you are having any confirmation control, let's say your vendor will send you a confirmation like ASN message, assist advanced shipping notification. Okay, so let's say advanced shipping notification means they will be sending you a confirmation like when they are going to send the product or when you are going to receive the product. Like take an example of Flipkart. So whenever you are providing an order there, they will be mentioning on this date you are going to receive your order. So that is like a kind of your ASN. Okay, assistant shipping notification, advanced shipping notification. Okay, so similarly there will be a advanced shipping notification for the vendor. If it is required, then you can mention it. Okay, then remaining shelf life, this is getting copied from the material master. If you have mentioned something, it will be copied from there. Similarly, the shipping instruction, this is also getting copied from the material master. Okay, and if you are providing any kind of tax code, let's say this material is belonging to some tax code, some like let's say 0% tax or 10% of tax, let's say 50% or 100% of tax, you can give some tax code over here. But for that you have to create a tax code first. Okay, so that is a later part. We will be seeing how we can create a tax code, so we can see it later. And next one is your no ERS indicator. You have seen there is a ERS indicator or ERS indicator in the vendor master, right? So if you are selecting this no ERS check button, so you cannot go for the ERS process. Okay, there are 3 indicators are there. First thing, you have to select in the material master, in the vendor master, you have to uncheck the ERS indicator. There are 2 ERS indicators are there, right? You remember everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In vendor master.
Yeah, so there are 2 indicators. You have to uncheck that. In the Inforecord, you have to check this one, no ERS. And in the purchasing, whenever you are creating a purchase order, there you have to unselect the ERS indicator. Okay, there are 3 indicators are there. You have to check and uncheck so that you cannot go with the ERS. You can go with the ERS or you cannot go with the ERS. So that is dependent on the check boxes. So there are 3 places where you need to select the check boxes or uncheck the check boxes. One is in your vendor master, one is in your info record, one is in the purchasing. Okay, so when we will be going to the purchase order, then we will be seeing the all scenarios, when it will be applicable, when it will be not applicable. Okay, so this is all about your control. Next one is your conditions. So here you can maintain a net price. Okay, let's say net price we are giving it 10 rupees. Okay, and here you are also having a incoterms. So where we have seen the first incoterms, we have seen the incoterms in the vendor master, right? There in the purchasing data, we are having a incoterms field. So that is one incoterms. This is the second incoterms. So what is the requirement of 2 incoterms? So basically, whatever incoterms you have given for the vendor master or in the vendor master. So just hold on a second. Okay. So we are just going to the same. Okay. So now go to, let's say MK03. Okay. Go here for this one. Let's say purchasing data. Okay. Go here. So in the purchasing data, you can see there is a incoterms over here, right? There is a incoterms you can see over here. And there is one more incoterms. You can see it over here in the info record. So what is the difference between two incoterms? So first incoterms, this vendor incoterms, this will be copied to the header data of the purchase order. Okay, so whenever you are creating a purchase order, this incoterms will go to the header condition of the purchase order. Okay, and this incoterms of info record, this will go to item data of the item data of the purchase order. Okay, so there will be 2 conditions tab will be there. So here you can see MA23N. So here you can see this is the header. In the header you are having a condition tab. Okay, so in the header you are having, here you can have a incoterms. Okay, here you can see there is a incoterms is there. Okay, if you go to the item tab, just one second. Here you are having one more incoterms in the item tab. Okay, so basically there is a incoterms in the header tab, in the header delivery, in the item delivery also you are having a incoterms. So this header incoterms will be copied, this will be copied from the vendor master. Okay, here from the vendor master it will copy. Okay, so if you are going for, let's say, from here, let's say we are going to the info record. Select this one, go to info record. So here you can see there is no Incoterms is maintained in the Inforecord. Okay, so that's why it is not coming for the item type. Okay, if you go to the vendor master, okay, if you go to the vendor master, here you can see the Incoterms is maintained as CIP, freight insurance free. Okay, so that is what coming for our, that is what coming for our header type. Okay, so this is basically the difference between the Inforecord Incoterms and vendor Incoterms. So vendor Incoterms is not that much of required for us. Most important for us is the item label Incoterms, which will be copied from the Inforecord tab. Okay, or the Inforecord which will be copied to the purchase order. Okay, understood or any doubt?
Understood, sir.
Okay, fine. So now we can see the next, that is conditions. Okay, so in the condition we are having this 10 rupees we have entered, this is the gross price. So after the gross price, let's say you want to give some conditions over here. What is the condition? This is the condition type. So condition type are basically, this is some of the, let's say some of the condition you are giving, like freight or discount or any kind of surcharges are there. You can giving a rule to that. Okay, what should be the final price? Let's say there are multiple condition types are there. So condition type we are going to see whenever, let's say we are going to the let's say pricing procedure. When we'll go, we will look into the details of it, but right now we can see this is the gross price PB00. So if you are, if you have want to give something like discount, so this is RA00 is a discount. Okay, here you can see ZB00 or ZA01 is the surcharge on the gross. Okay, so these are the different types of terms are there on which you can provide some conditions over here, so that your price will be calculated accordingly. So let's say we are giving here, let's say for A1 we are giving 1%. Let's say we are giving ZA01 as 2%. Let's say here we are giving RA01 as 5%. Okay, so if you select this one, now save this one. Okay, so now our Inforecord is created. Let's just display this one. Okay, so now you can go to the conditions. So here this is the condition we have given. We have given 2% surcharge on the gross, we have given 5% discount on the gross, we have given the freight as 1%. Okay, now if you go to the purchasing data, okay, here you can go to the purchasing data. Now here you can see the net price is 9.70. What we have given 10 rupees, right? We have given the 10 rupees, but now it is coming as 9.70. So it has calculated the price on the conditions, whatever condition we have given on the net gross price, that is taking on the net price, that is coming as a net price after the calculating the amount. So this is basically the gross price. Then we are having the surcharges, discount, freight. So as per your conditions, whatever is there from your vendor, you can provide these conditions over here. Okay, so now there are two more things are there, but time is, I believe it is over. Okay, we have 5 minutes, no problem, we can see it. So basically, if you want to give some let's say discount or any kind of, let's say scales are there. Let's say scales means let's say on a gross purchase you are getting some discount. Let's say price will be lowered on a higher purchase, so that you can give. So you can just select this gross price. Okay, first select this gross price, then you can see there is a scales button is there. Okay, provide a scales over here, select it. Okay, okay, sorry. Okay, so now select this one and go to the scales. We are in the display mode, that's why it was not selecting. So now we can provide some scales. So now from, let's say, one quantity, it will take as a 10 rupees. Let's say till 1000 quantity, it will be 10 rupees, but after 1000 rupees, let's say from 1 to 999, it will calculate as 10 rupees. Let's say for 1000 above, it will take as a 8 rupees. Okay, let's say we are taking 2000 quantity, so 1000 to 1999, it will take 8 rupees. So after 2000, it will take let's say 7 rupees. Okay, so that is a scales we can give. Okay, so now this is a scale. So if you are purchasing for 999 product, 1 to 999 product, then you can get as a 10 rupees at the price. If you are buying more than 1000, you can get it as a 8 rupees. If you are buying more than 2000, then you can get it under 7 rupees. Okay, so now similarly, can go back. So similarly, there are free goods. If you want to give some free goods, then you can give some free goods over here. Okay, so basically, let's okay. So I believe you have remembered that we have not selected any free goods over here. So 6005 vendor. Okay. So here we have not selected this grand discount in kind. Okay, so that's why it is showing a warning message to us that this vendor is not providing any kind of free goods. That's why it is showing us. Okay, still we can enter it. Okay, still we can execute it. Okay, so I believe it will not go to. Okay, so because we have not selected this grand discount in kind, that's why it is not allowing us to give any kind of free goods. If you are selecting this grand discount in the kind, so it will allow you to put some free goods over here. Okay, so free goods concept will be looking into it tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow, are you available for the class, or we will be continuing on Monday? Anyone?
Yes, yes, sir. I'm ready, sir.
Yeah,
No
I'll
issue.
be available, sir.
Available, right?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
available.
Yes,
Okay, fine.
yes, sir.
So we will also having the class tomorrow. So we will looking
Okay.
into the last part of like free goods. We will be looking into it tomorrow. Okay. So that's it for today. So we'll
Yes,
meet
sir.
up
Bye.
again. Yeah, bye.